It's the radio guy, Mike Prince, and welcome back to the Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union Hotline. We are fortunate to have with us on the line the newly elected president of the National Alumni Association of Prairie View A&M University, and that is none other than Pastor Mark Falls. How you doing, sir, and welcome to the show.
I'm doing great, Pastor Prince. Thank you for having me.
Well, we are glad to have you on board. Now, you're a class of 1983, if I'm not mistaken, of Prairie View. Is that correct?
No, sir. I am the class of 1982, a Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering.
Bachelor of Science, Mechanical Engineering class of 1982. Sounds good to me. Well, where did I get the year 83? What happened in 83 for you?
In 1983, I joined Phi Beta Sigma grad chapter. Zeta Xi Sigma took me over, and I became part of, to me, the world's greatest fraternity, Phi Beta Sigma. So
okay, then.
1983, the grad chapter part.
Okay, I knew something was significant about 1983, and those that listen to the show know that I, too, am a member of the world's greatest fraternity of Phi Beta Sigma, fall of 1989. So, on to you, sir, and let us continue to move on. Now, you are in the journey now, the pathway of, they say, the political jargon and the red tape of being involved. What made you want to be a part of that movement, sir?
Well, my philosophy, if I can help somebody, is I pass along this way, and I know my living won't be in vain. And so I always like to be part of positive movements where I think that I can contribute to the movement, add valuable asset to the movement. And so when approached, I readily accepted, and so I'm looking forward to working together with the team as we continue to move forward.
Okay. So with all that being said, you inherit an organization or the leadership role of an organization, and we always talk about what we would do or what we could do if we were ever placed in position. With that being said, not that everything is broken or everything needs to be readjusted. What would you say your observations are for moving in the right path and keeping things steady and even adding to the existing program?
Moving in the right path. I think during my platform, I let everyone know that I will be going after this younger generation. I want to make sure that this great organization of Prairie View A&M University National Alumni Association, that it reflects the young and the old. And so I'm after the youth. As a matter of fact, on my executive board, 3 positions were not filled, but I was able to fill those positions with the NAA Board of Directors approval, approving Jamie and Latin Sims, a class of 2004 graduate, as a chaplain, and Brother Majalen Neal as the Assistant Secretary of the class of 2019, and recently graduated, largest graduating class out of Prairie View, May 2021, Brother Gregory Bournes, class of 2021. And so I want the younger generation, when they look at this organization chart, that they can see somebody that looks like them. And so I'm going after this younger generation because we want to make sure that we include them as we continue to move forward.
All right. Well, we'll pick up where we left off. As welcome back. We had a slight disconnect, but the question that was being asked, we know that when you're running an organization such as this, it's like steering a ship. Sometimes when you're steering a ship, it doesn't feel like things are going in the direction that you think it should be going in. And from your observation, I know you hadn't been in that position long, where do you see the ship sailing versus to where you think it should be headed?
Well, I see the ship sailing, first of all, in a forward direction, but as we move forward, we have to bring this younger generation with us. I'm dealing with an organization that's built on tradition, and it's okay. But in the past, we have failed to reach out to this younger generation, and I think I've already done that within my 1 month of presidency, because 3 positions went unfilled, and I was able to fill those positions with a 2004, a 2019, and a 2021 alumni. And so I want the younger generation to see that when they look at the org chart, that they see someone that looks like them. And so we're moving forward into a future of evolving technology. We need the young people to help us with social media. We need the young people as we move forward with conventions and meetings, make sure that we have on our agenda things that that they're looking for, and just try to work together, the young and the old, and want to bring them aboard, because it's our job, this older generation, to teach them, and we want to make sure that we're doing that. And so we're moving forward. We're moving forward with this young generation. Hopefully they will come on board, and we will get them infused into what we're doing here. And so that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to infuse this organization with the younger generation.
We're talking right now with Pastor Mark Falls, newly appointed president for the Prairie View National Alumni Association. And what a great way to display that skill set and that challenge with the latest announcement that has come from the campus in regards of Homecoming 2021. Of course, I'm sure you're familiar that it has been announced that there will be no tailgating. And a lot of PV family, friends, and alum are really upset about this decision. Number one, from your position of the pecking order, how do you respond to that announcement?
Well, I received the announcement with joy. Here's the reason why. First of all, the university formed a COVID-19 task force and homecoming committee to stay on top of this pandemic, to make sure that we protect the students, and not only the students and the staff. And so I was aware of the letter forthcoming. Matter of fact, I worked with the university, the National Alumni Association. We always have our homecoming banquet during homecoming, but it was a collective agreement that we should back down because the university itself had a spike due to this Delta variant. I don't know what that number is. I know it's in the hundreds. And then with students being impacted with this Delta variant. And one thing I do know for sure, we lost a student due to this COVID-19. And so I'm all for it. We've done homecoming for so many years. It's not going to hurt us to back away from homecoming again. And one thing that I want everybody to understand, that Prairie View is a land grant college. That means that we are governed by the state of Texas. So you know who the governor of Texas is. And so does the university want these students to wear masks and do it? Yes, but the university has to comply with the governor of Texas. And so, you know, the governor of Texas has not made it mandatory that you wear a mask. And so I thank Dr. Ruth. She loved those students just like the alumni loved those students. I'm glad that she formed a committee. And so we still having homecoming, all right? We still have homecoming. Tailgating got wiped out. Homecoming is really all about the students. So right now, the way it's set up, we have something set up, maybe like a hump day for the kids. And most of the activities we still having is that most of the activity is going to be on the outside. But homecoming is going to happen. It's just going to be different, okay? And I know everyone like to see those big old RVs roll in there, and we cooking for everybody. We having fun over there. We're just not going to be able to do it this year. And so it's all about safety. And I heard, I went out there on our Facebook group page saying, look, we went to the Dallas and we done all this here. That was outside in an open stadium. And if you really know about Prairie View Homecoming, not only the students going to be here, not only the alumni is going to be here, but we even have allies, other students, other family members that love the old Prairie View. They're coming, okay? And so we just have to be protective of the students and the staff. This Delta variant, I don't know how well the university is getting it out there, but we do have a high number. We do have a spike with students coming down with this COVID-19 that we even have lost a kid. Okay, so we're still having homecoming, but consider it a condensed version. So I am okay with it. I work with this task force, and so I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it, and so I know everybody loves the tailgating. We're still gonna have it. It's just we're gonna be outside in tents. Parade is gonna be different. You know, we just doing things different, you know, during this pandemic. So I'm all for it. The university did contact me. I did give them the thumbs up. We canceled the homecoming banquet. It was a collective decision, the same decision that we made for the inauguration gala that we had set up, scheduled for October the 9th at the Buffalo Soldiers National Museum. We scheduled that, all right, because there's concerns, all right? There's concerns, still concerns during this pandemic. And so I'm okay with it. And I just wish people that would comply and understand that homecoming is still happening, but it's going to be a condensed version. It's going to be different. It's not going to look like what it used to be.
Very well, sir. And I guess my response would be homecoming is more than just the tailgating. It is about reconnecting with friends, loved ones, frat brothers, sorority sisters, and all that. But there's also a game involved. And let's be honest, Brother Falls, a lot of people will attend the tailgating but not attending the game, which indirectly affects the budget flow of athletics. Because when people purchase tickets to attend the game, that helps the university. Now, when they go and show up for tailgating, sometimes up to 50,000 people on that campus at one time, the campus does not necessarily benefit financially from that. How do we correct that?
So for tailgating, let me see, make sure I understand the question. So for tailgating, I know the universities charge a price for tailgating, right, in that area. Okay, and so
well, it's only limited spots, so you only have, let's just say, 100 spots for tailgating. And right, if you charge, okay, $400 a week, and I'm just throwing a number out there. I don't know the hard numbers, but and we know it might be 100 spots for RVs, but at $400 at $100, what is that? $40,000. Okay,
that's
you get right. You get that from parking, but that's it. Where you could take those same people who are at the RV spots, purchase a ticket for the game, okay, which the ticket for the game would go directly to the athletic budget, which helps extend the athletic programming, not just football, but all of the athletic programs involved. That can go a lot further than the people spending money to rent these RVs, which is money that some have, some don't have, and we know how it is. Sometimes we're just showing off when we got it to flaunt, and sometimes we don't have it to flaunt. But use this year as a year of giving back to your beloved Prairie View.
Right. And so, yeah, and so I understand your question, like, 'cause over in that RV tailgate community, some of them do not even much enter into the stadium, do not purchase tickets. And right. So hopefully this year, that they will still come, that they will still come, and that they would now contribute to purchasing the ticket, which probably should go, I don't know, but once it come in, I don't know how they divvy it up or anything like that. But hopefully with the homecoming going away, the tailgating going away, that those who don't decide not come to the RV, that they still will come to the game. Because even, you know, in my years down here coming, it amazed me. It'll be more people outside the stadium than on the inside the stadium doing homecoming. So a lot of people come down here for the tailgating. They come down here for the concerts. They come down here just for just for socializing, you know, just to get away, you know. And so hopefully, with this being a condensed version, hopefully that we get more people in the stadium.
Yes, sir. Now, in years of old, with the old Blatcher Stadium, which I love that little place, I miss it sometimes, you only had 6,000 seats. So it would sell out quickly. Now we have 15,000. And it's almost to a degree of being embarrassed that we're not selling these stadiums out at homecoming. And the true sellout was when that stadium first opened in its first year against Texas Southern, and the storm that lasted 7 hours to delay that game. That's really been the only time that that stadium was sold out, in particular at homecoming. And from an athlete, it sometimes can be discouraging when you know you got this beautiful stadium, and we boast on it all the time. And we boast on how many people attend the homecoming, but they don't attend the homecoming game. And we can't expect other people to help us financially, emotionally, or whatever other way that we need support unless we start helping ourselves, because charity begins where? At home.
At home.
Yes, sir. So my question is, then, blending the young with the old, how do we get people to come to these games? Not just homecoming. And my question would be, why is homecoming the only game we make an emphasis of showing up? Why can't we show up for every home game? It's only 4 games a year, 4 dates a year. Why can't every home game be a homecoming event? Homecoming phase 1, 2, 3, and 4, however many home games you have that year.
Great question. So here's one thing that I found out is that my twins, my daughter just recently graduated from Prairie. My son is at Chamberlain, still pursuing nursing. I just found out that in this kid's tuition and fees, and I could be wrong, I think they get into the game free.
Yes.
I could be
wrong.
That's
always been.
All at a discounted rate. So how can we fill up the stadium? Well, you said charity begins at home. Well, we got to get the students, all right? First, we got to get the students at the game. And one thing that draws the students, they love the band. And I just want to use a comment that my daughter, I said, baby, why you don't go to the game? She said, Daddy, I don't like football. You know, I don't like football, and then I don't like being in that crowd. You know, she might go to a basketball game. She went to baseball games because she had a friend on the baseball. And so how do we fill up that stadium? Well, first of all, I got to start with the students. All right, Prairie View population has grown down through the years. So we got to get the kids, all right? We got to get the kids into the stadium, okay? We got to get the kids in the stadium first. And then, and eventually, we're going to get the stadium filled because the team is winning, okay? The team is winning. And so that's one thing that always fills the stadium is a winning team. So Prairie View is off to a good start this year. And so hopefully that stadium will get full. But you should reach out to the students. And then just like you said, let's not put emphasis on the tailgating on the outside. Let's put emphasis on the game itself. Now, one thing that I want to share with you, even though they might not come into that football stadium, all right, at the foundation and Raw G. Pier and all them helped to build that whole sports complex. The one thing that I love about this university, they love to give. All right? They love to give. So you talk about money coming in. So even though they don't come into that stadium, I find out they still give, okay? They still give. When Dr. Ruth walking around, I even remember when Dr. Wright was here, they'll walk around. I've seen alumni put thousands and hundreds and thousands of dollars in their hands to give back to the university. So one thing I like about the homecoming even if they don't enter that stadium, they still give. And so I just want to make that known. But I don't want to get away from. Then here's another thing. When we built that stadium, if I can sit on top of my RV and see the game, why do I need to come in? And so one thing I hope that the foundation does is that where the scoreboard is, I hope they fill that section right there with bleachers and everything so that nobody can see what's going on the inside. But we got to get the students there. We got to get the word out there, market it better, and say, hey, look, come on inside of the game, But like I said, I am privy to know that even though they don't come to the game, they give. So I don't know if that answers your question, but I think it starts with the students. And I think from the president of National Alumni Association, we can make that point well known. Just make sure that you come inside and support the kids, support the players, because they would love to see alumni, being an ex-football player, playing in the Astrodome. It meant a lot, playing at Yates, and you see the Astrodome is full, And so I understand that. So maybe that's something that I'll take on as the president, make sure that alumni, maybe we support it better, make sure that, hey, you guys come out and support this here game, and work with the pre-alumni association and work with the student government association right there, making sure that the students come to the game. So I think we can make it happen.
Okay, that sounds like a plan, and we understand that there are so many political parts and pieces to this machine, and that's just one part of it. Another part was protecting the true identity of the university, i.e. the colors, getting away from the yellow gold, and it's slowly but surely coming back now to the original gold, the old gold, some call it the old English gold. And those little things make a difference, because I heard you state earlier it's about traditions, and traditions are great, and it's always good to add new flavor, but understand you can't add new until we understand the original foundation and base. And I'm all about the youth movement, because the youth movement is the only way that our future is going to be guaranteed. And we have to pour into the youth, but we pour into the youth what got us to where we are. And those are the things like staying true to the colors. Those are the things of supporting ourselves when no one else would support us. Because we are an HBCU, we were designed with a purpose. We were designed with specific intentions of being able to provide an educational experience for anyone, in particular of African descent, that wanted that opportunity of higher education. And it begins from the classroom to the lab rooms to the sports rooms and spilling out to the community. And we need to make sure that we keep echoing that message.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And so I'm also let's talk about tradition. So, let me say this. So, I'm a avid football fan, and I'm not going to tell you which team I love, because you might disconnect me. But anyway,
I wouldn't disconnect. It sounds like you're a Cowboy fan. That's what it sounds like.
But anyway, like I was saying, it's like one thing I like about the NFL. So we talk about tradition. One thing that I like about the NFL, they did, even baseball, even basketball, they go back to them old uniforms, And I hear you talking about this new color and everything, but that's how you keep everything together, the old with the new, So I'm in agreement with you. So we just got to look at that and make sure that we have the old and the new, but they working simultaneously together.
Okay, sounds like a plan to me. Once again, we're talking with President of the National Alumni Association of Prairie View A&M University, Pastor Mark Falls, class of 1982. Now, look, I know we've been on here for a while, but if you could look into your crystal ball of the future, what is the vision and the plan of President Pastor Mark Falls?
Vision real short and sweet. To keep this great, grand old organization going, I need to infuse it with the youth. I need to tweak a few things that haven't been working. I don't want to go off in details of that, but I want to work together with the university. All right, that is, we the voice of the alumni, but we need to make sure that we're working with the university, understanding their strategic plan, and make sure that our strategic plan is somewhat similar to theirs, okay? One thing that I want to do when it comes to HBCU rankings, and I'm asking everybody to measure my success on this. We are currently ranked number 26 amongst HBCUs according to the News Business Week, okay? We're ranked number 26. I want to improve that ranking, and this is how we're going to do it. We're going to give to the annual fund, all right? That is what the rankings is based on. We know how to give. We can give to the stadium. We give to the engineering department. We give to the business. We give to that. We give, but now we got to make sure that we give to the annual fund because that is what drives the ranking. Research. So Dr. Simmons is already trying to take Prairie View to level 2 research. We have no control of that. That's really based on the university. Number 3, the graduation rate. We want to improve the graduation rate here at Prairie View. How can we do it? Well, I need alumni to come back. They have classes ready for us. They have a virtual ready for us. So now we can help these kids with their homework, number 1, all right? Help the graduation rate. We got to engage with these kids, okay? I'm trying to set up an alumni tent, all right, on every Thursday. I'm having a big coordination meeting with the other chapter clubs so we can have a student tent engagement like every Thursday. Now we can feed these kids hot dogs. We just have hot dogs, hamburgers, things like that, and then engage with them, letting them know, because some of these kids now, they don't come from the ideal home, okay? Some of them raising themselves and helping their brothers and sisters and all that. Some of these kids be lacking $200, $300, $400 to graduate or make it to the. We got to get engaged with these kids and push them through, not only educationally, financially, emotionally. These kids are struggling during this pandemic. These are social butterflies. These kids are struggling during this social. The university need help. They need help. And so I see us engaging with them. So get that student engagement going. Why? Because to move up that ranking, when these kids graduate, their experience counts in their ranking. So if you ask any Prairie View a graduate that's graduated from Prairie View, they still living, each one of us have our own story, whether positive or whether negative. But we want to make sure when these kids graduate in 4 years that their experience is a positive one. You know, my daughter, she just graduated. She loved it. She said, if I had to do it all over again, Daddy, I would do it. And so we want to make sure that we move up from number 26. Spelman is number 1, all right? Spelman is number 1. And so we want to move up from 26 to move up. I don't care if it's 20. I want us to be moving up and not down. And so that's my goal, to infuse these young folks, bring them aboard, teach the traditional folks, I want to call them traditional, that we got to give to the annual fund, and we got to get engaged with these kids. One thing that we are guilty of, the only time, so let's go back to homecoming. Well, guess what? The negative thing that my daughter said, Daddy, the only time I see alumni is at homecoming. And that's not only my daughter's experience. That was the same thing when I was down here in 82. The only time I knew anything about alumni was at a homecoming. That's the only time I saw them. So we need to get engaged in these kids' life from their freshman year all the way to their senior life. Now when they graduate, they'll have better experiences, and then they'll be more willing to join this great old organization called the Prairie View and University National Alumni Association.
Okay. Now, you stated on something, and I want to reverse just for a second, that it's imperative that the National Alumni Association works with the university on the strategic plan. And in that same order, shouldn't it be imperative that the university works with the National Alumni Association? Because depending on who you ask, it sometimes appears that the position that the university wants with the National Alumni Association is to raise the money, don't ask us no questions, keep it coming, and do as we say, and don't think, let us think for you.
And so the president that we have now, and I can definitely speak of this president because we have a great relationship. Matter of fact, when she came aboard, she appointed my wife and I over the Panther parent program. We was ambassadors for the Panther parent program. Well, let's talk about that. So the university, this president wants to work with us. All right, and this is how I know it. Because before I was president, I was a chaplain in the NA, but I led a committee called Working Together Towards Greatness. Well, I got that idea from Dr. Ruth Simmons, all right, because we were meeting with her, several of the executive board, and she noticed, based on her own experience at other colleges, that we didn't have the best working relationship. So Dr. Simmons, the university, paid for us to go do some benchmarking at Spelman, and we took a couple of her staff members. And we learned a lot from benchmarking with Spelman. We took it a step further. We went benchmark with University of North Texas because their alumni association got taken away from them by the university. And we also did benchmarking with Texas A&M. So this university and this current administration staff, they want to work with us. Okay? It's not like they don't. No. It's not they'll come give us the money we do with money. No. Matter of fact, when you give now, they have a tool now. We're gonna be having a special demonstration on Tuesday night at my 1 month Zuma head meeting, where they're using this tool, the university's using this tool how to give. Okay? And then you can tell the university where you want your money to be placed. So it's not like, boom, here's the money. Here's the money. You can't. All we want is your money, and you can't tell us what to do. No, that's not the leadership of this administration today. That's not the leadership of this administration today. And matter of fact, she and I met one-on-one. All right, she and I met one-on-one. Things she confided with me is between me and the fence post. So she confided in me. But one thing I do know. Prairie is blessed to have an Ivy League president. All right, an Ivy League president. If you know anything about an Ivy League president gets paid some big bucks. All right, she loves Prairie View. She want to work not only with the National Alumni Association. She has a great working relationship with the foundation, the Prairie View A&M Foundation that helped build that stadium. So this current administration that we have now, they want to work with us. Matter of fact, she calls me, she emails me, Mark, how can we do this better? Mark, I need the help. These kids are struggling down here mentally. You know, okay, what you tell me what you need the alumni to do. So now, she the one, and she's been here, she the one, it was her concept. I just took the ball and ran with it. We call it working together towards greatness. So that's what it's all about. It's about the university working with the National Alumni Association. And as we move forward, that's how she and I plan to work. So we've already met, and we have several more meetings, you know. And I love Dr. Ruth. She's doing great things. But and watch you see, here's my own personal testimony. I walked up and gave her so much money, and she looked at it. She said, Mark, I noticed you didn't tell me where did you want it to go. I say, you decide. You decide. I'm not worried. I just want to give. But you decide where you want to go. You can put it in the annual fund. You know I love this here criminal justice building you're trying to get going. You decide. So she's not the type of person, neither this university, that accept your money and you don't tell them where you want it to go. And she has encouraged the National Alumni Association to work more closely with the university. And we have done some great things together since we are close-knitted now. Since we're so close-knitted. She has even much introduced me to the chancellor of the Texas A&M system. And I done met the president of the Association of Former Students down at Texas A&M, previous under the Texas A&M system. We're talking about working together towards greatness. Hey, guess what? I've already set up an agreement where we're gonna shadow each other so that they can learn how we do it and we can learn how they do it. It's all about working together towards greatness. And I thank Dr. Ruth for this university is not going to take your money. And even the National Alumni Association, Okay, even the National Alumni Association that I preside over right now, if you give, we have different buckets that you can give to. And then, if you want your name on a building, you got the money, guess what? You want to build us a new alumni house, guess what? We'll put your name on the new alumni house. And so you'll tell us how you want your money to go. Okay? And so but yeah, so we working together, man. I love it. I love it. But you're not going to give, not on the alumni side. The foundation is having a golf tournament on November 16th. I sponsor that. I was just going to write them a check and sponsor it. They came back to me, no more. You tell us, where do you want this money to go? So even at the foundation when you give, even at the university when you give, even at the National Alumni Association when you give, we still ask you to direct that money into one of these accounts. And if there's not one that you see, guess what? You paying that much money? Guess what? You want your name on a building? You want to build a new alumni house? Guess what? We'll call it the Michael Prince Alumni House.
now, let me ask this question, because someone that's listening to this right now might be even a bit discouraged. So really, it's all about how much I pay and all I can be heard. We have a great tradition of successful alumni. We have a lot of alumni who might be on a financial challenge right about now, a financial struggle. And they might not be able to give what the quote-unquote big bucks, but what they give is like big bucks to what they can afford to give. As that person's voice carries as much weight as the one who's giving the big bucks with their names on the building.
To me, yes, it does. So this is how I look at it. So watch this here. And I use my own local chapter, the Johnson Space Center, when I was president of that chapter. I've had members, I had alumni who would not pay money, pay dues or anything. But we have events, they are supported that way. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about your time, talent, and treasure. So there are some alumni, they're gonna give you a time, and they're not gonna give you the treasure. All right, they're not gonna give you the talent. And then you got some alumni that give you their time, talent, and treasures. Okay, and so I was like that. I'm still gonna be like that. I can't speak on behalf of the university. I can speak on behalf of the National Alumni Association, because I've a lot of alumni that's not even much engaged at the local or the national level. They still an alumni.
Yes, sir.
And so,
yes, sir.
And I treat them that. So yeah, and then I got to build relationships. Hey, man, I'm working with a brother now. I can't even call his name. I'm working with a brother now. He loves his alma mater and everything, but sometimes it takes the right person in that leadership to make people feel like that all is welcome, and that is who I am. All is welcome, But you got to understand, in order to run a National Alumni Association, we're 501c3. There has to be money coming in. We all about scholarships. We got to give these kids scholarships. We got an alumni house that we have to take care of. And so I'm not the type of person, just because you don't give money and everything, but you give me your time and talent. Now, this one thing I tell everybody: nothing is not your best. Nothing
right.
is not your best. You may not be able to give me your money. You may not give me your time or your talents, but I still say nothing is not your best. What are you able to do for the National Alumni Association? What are you able to do for the university? All right? What are you able to do for the foundation? Nothing is not your best. Nothing is not your best. Nothing is not your best. And so you can't stand around and criticize, and you're really not giving your time, your talent, and your treasures.
Very well stated, sir.
Yeah.
Very well stated. Now, I do know and understand we're definitely going to have to revisit and reconvene on some of these topics and conversation, because we would be here all day. And I know from one preacher to another, we love to, as I say, talk it up and chop it up. But I want to give you an opportunity to have some closing thoughts and comments at this time as we begin to shut this segment down, sir.
As we get ready to close, I'm asking all alumni that have graduated, even attended Prairie View, to consider joining this great organization with your time, with your talent, or with your treasure. We are the voice. We are the voice that the university want to hear. And so there's power in unity. And so just come and connect with us. It doesn't have to be financially. Give us your email address, your physical address, so that we'll be able to keep in contact with you, so that when things arise. Now, one thing that I'm doing, I've created a political action committee, and Miss Lalani Hagerman, she's leading that effort. We need to be a voice down there in Austin. That's why I need the alumni. See, you don't have to pay anything to be a part of that. We need to show up in numbers, so that when our budget get cut like it did this year, 5%, we can be there in numbers, because the university and Dr. Ruth can't say nothing, because the government they're under the government. And so that's why I need the alumni. I need your time, I need your talent, I need your treasures. I need them to just come get engaged with us, because we're doing some great things. I got a political action committee getting ready to get started, where we can start meeting down there in Austin to being a voice. We got a great program already set up in Washington, D.C., with the political science group with some interns. We got to be a voice down there. We got to make sure that our voices are heard, and there's power in numbers, powers in numbers. And here's the last thing I want to say. Everybody from the university, from the National Alumni Association, even from the foundation. I know I represent the National Alumni Association, but that's how all of us work together. This is what I want from my alumni. I want them to cut back on the negative talk of the university, the negative talk of the Alumni Association, the negative talk of the foundation, especially when you're not doing anything. Especially when you're not doing anything. So I need the alumni cut out all the negative talk about Prairie View. Okay, yeah, we have some challenges. I know customer service is not its best right now during this pandemic. Okay, but you got to look at it this way. What can you do to help the university improve on their customer service? Dr. Ruth we already talked about it. I know the plan. She already knows it. But I'm asking the alumni come join forces with this great organization, especially for this political action committee, that when we get ready to go down to Austin, we need to be our voices really need to be heard down in Austin and not really at the university, because the university is engaged with what we are doing here in the National Alumni Association. So I need everybody. It's not about money. It's just, you just come that I can meet you. And I done met, since I took office, I done met so many people from Prairie View that's not even associated with the National Alumni Association, the foundation. Those are only two affiliation agreements that's been signed by the university. They're not in there, but they think they have a voice to be heard. I was looking at it on my Facebook group page. Somebody said, oh, we need to call Dr. Ruth after that COVID-19 TAS homecoming letter came out canceling the tailgating. We need to call this number and let her know. No, that's not the right way to go about it. Complaining. No. What you did, the university asked us, the National Alumni Association, to be a part. We're a part of that COVID-19 homecoming committee. So we don't complain. All right. We don't complain. We don't complain because, trust me, we got a pandemic going on. And our number one goal, don't ever forget, are the students. Let's get engaged with these students' lives more than at homecoming, more than tailgating. My daughter said, even when y'all do have the homecoming, y'all have all that food, then y'all be stingy with the food. Come on, we want to do a better job, alumni, engaging with these students. That's what it's all about, engaging with these students. And so to engage with these students, it doesn't require any money to ask them how they're doing, what you think how they're going up here. That don't cost any money. No. So we need your time, talent, and treasure, and nothing is not your best. Come on, join this great old organization, the National Alumni Association, celebrating its 120 years.
All righty. You heard it, ladies and gentlemen, from the president himself, Pastor Mark Falls of the Prairie View A&M University National Alumni Association. Sir, thank you so much for joining in with us. This definitely will not be our last time of conversating. I am the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince. Thank you guys so much for joining in with us on this special edition here from the Open Mic Broadcast Network. And until the next time, you all be blessed. We'll see you on the other side.